Children of the night, what music they make.
They're all gonna laugh at you!
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
What's that?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash you with it.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, pushers and addicts, welcome to your weekly fix of Final Guys. How are you?
Oh, that's the stuff.
That's the stuff. This week, we are talking about a movie whose title was inspired by why Jason's nieces call him every week Uncle Peckerhead.
It is true. You've heard this.
I'm sure my nieces have called me worse. As always, I'm joined by my less than esteemed cohorts. You know what? I'm going to call you friends. You're my friends. Jack Campese.
Peckerhead.
Jason Brandt.
Hello.
Tim Meyer.
Hey.
Hey, we're all ready.
Hi.
By the way, what are you guys drinking tonight? Because I know Tim's got something special.
Corona, blackberry, lime.
Decaf coffee.
Jeez.
Country pumpkin ale from
Woo!
Ithaca Beer Company.
Yeah, Jack and I might be drinking that in another.
I haven't had that.
I am drinking Trial by Wombat, which was
Ooh.
suggested to me by the beer concierge at the Chico's Market because
Who
I
make-
like hazy IPAs.
Who makes it?
It is by Thin Man Brewery.
Where are they out of?
Good. That's a good question. I don't know. But it's a 7%er. It's a hazy IPA. Notes of peach and melon.
I love it.
I'm digging it. I like
Yeah.
it a lot.
So let's philosophical question. Is August too early for pumpkin ale?
No.
No.
What are you, crazy?
This year, cling to horror time as fast as possible.
I'm just posing the question.
Last year, all the pumpkin beer was sold out in my entire county for all of October.
That's
So I kind of was holding off thinking, I don't want to get into it
That's
too
the
early.
gas station from the beginning of Cabin in the Woods, right?
Yeah.
What?
That's the gas station from the beginning of Cabin in the Woods.
You know, the man who is in charge of all law and order in his county is Buford T. Pusser. Or Sheriff Lobo. We're not sure who's in charge where Jason lives. Jason's looking at us like, I want to kill you. Before we get into the show, Jack, we have an announcement about Monster Men. We're going to cross-pollinate. So, Jack, why don't you tell the folks?
The Monster Man podcast is now available in audio, and we've been added to the Project Entertainment Network, which is a sort of a coalition of podcasts. So if you go look up Project Entertainment Network, you will find us amongst the other shows.
Are you going to be reading Adam and Eve sex toy advertisements at the beginning?
God, I hope so.
Yes, I am.
It would be very fitting for the show.
If I'm all about strap-ons and butt plugs. What's the next episode we're going to have on, Jack?
This week, dropping probably Thursday, we're going to be talking to one of the Sisters of Slaughter about werewolves. Ooh.
Half a slaughter. I have
It's a good episode. I just finished editing it.
It is.
She is so funny. Michelle Garza.
More F-bombs than even I do. It was awesome.
Impressive.
Yeah. So I'm giddy because my next book over here, Misfits, is coming out in a couple of weeks. So tonight, if you listen to this episode anytime between the next week, I just got brand new Hunter's Hellions enamel pins. I have Misfits magnets and / 3D holographic stickers.
Mm-hmm.
So if you like and comment on the YouTube channel for the show, I'm going to pick a couple of random people and send them a little prize pack of stuff and maybe some bookmarks and other stuff. So
Where do you get holographic stickers from?
dude, Sticker Mule. Every week they post some kind of special and you just you go all in when they do it.
Sticker? I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, they do good
I
stuff.
have another very, very important announcement.
All right, what's your PSA level?
Hunter, you're familiar with my buddy Morgan. I reference him a lot.
Oh, Warlock.
I got a little package in the mail today, and I just wanted to share with everybody the gift I got.
Who is that?
It's a Mitch Buchanan, David Hasselhoff, Funko Pop,
Jesus.
Baywatch Funko
Couldn't
Pop.
get you Pam Anderson, huh?
Listen, it's Hasselhoff, man.
It's the Hoff.
The Hoff. Don't hassle the Hoff, I say. So I just want to give a shout out to Morgan. You're still the man.
Best thing Hasselhoff was ever in was the SpongeBob movie. I attest.
You got to watch the Witchery with him and Linda Blair.
Oh, that's on my list, by the way. So, who has?
I got a couple final guys things I want to bring up before we jump into it.
Oh, you do? Awesome.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So we finally have shirts incoming and masks. Just we're doing dead simple to start with. Just black masks that say "Final Guy" or "Final Girl" on it. Same with the shirts. And if people want more advanced shit, we'll do that. But hopefully by next week they'll be available. So
I love how we're learning this on the show.
I know. It's almost like I made it right in time for us to start the show, and I didn't get to tell you anything.
Perfect.
A lot of the podcast platforms now are allowing links in the show notes. So I've mentioned before that for YouTube, all the movies we talk about, there are links in the show notes to just go to it. You don't have to search. But now most places, I think except Apple, allow the links now. So wherever you're listening, just click and you can follow and watch whatever the fuck you want that we talk about.
Oh, that's awesome.
And finally, I wanted to thank everybody because this is our best month ever so far. We still have 5 or 6 days left, and we have smashed our listening records. So thanks, everyone. I'm glad things are finally turning back around from COVID and setting a little Final Guys record. So appreciate it.
A little COVID comfort.
Mm.
They're all coming for Tim's hair.
It's basically that's true. I can't even deny it.
They came for the hair, but that hat's going to seal the deal now.
Yeah, there you go. You look like a freaking John Wayne in The Quiet Man.
John Wayne Gacy, more like it.
Tim, I know you opened the show last week while I was out, and you did a bang up job.
Did I? Because I thought I did terrible.
No, I thought you did great.
Really?
Back, given the whatever.
You did great.
We're proof anyone can do this shit. How about this week? You do the drinking rules.
Oh shit. So all right, we got drinking rules for Jack if he says duh bell band, Hunter Hillbilly Roadie diarrhea, which I mean you were gonna say diarrhea a bunch of times anyway, regardless of this movie.
I have to do it now.
Jason is midnight punk comedy, and bonus, which I guess will be my words, is Peck, Van, and Cop.
Yeah, Sheridan, I want you to realize Tim's part of the show now.
It's okay. I like bonus.
It's only been 3 months. He'll catch on.
Maybe
Whatever.
he's hoping I go away.
Oh,
No, he's not the
no.
only one.
He loves you.
I'm just
And Tim loves to say pecker.
Packer.
true.
All right, Jack, give us the news. And I swear to God, if you say something I think you're going to say, I'm going to drive up there and punch you in the face. Do it.
First of all,
He's getting nervous.
Peaches and Herb are waiting for you. So if you want to go,
Godly and Cream are right here.
The size of those
Captain-
ham hocks.
and Tennille. All right, you ready to hold your face in your hands?
Yeah.
John Carpenter mentioned
That's
that
what you-
Jason Blum is working on some kind of reimagining or reboot of The Thing.
Mm.
Yep.
Well, it's been 40 years since his version, right?
Yeah, then there was that one that came out like 9 years ago.
I
right?
don't. Yeah, that doesn't count. So the first one,
At least it was a prequel, not a
the first
goddamn
one,
remake.
the
It was
original,
basically a remake, though.
there was less than 30 years between the two. So there's been 40 years since this one, but I don't want it.
I
Nope.
feel like if they do what they did with The Invisible Man, where take the bare bones concept of it and put it in something entirely different, maybe. But if they do it just another Antarctic camp retread, come on.
Yeah, but who goes back and says, "Man, the original The Invisible Man is my favorite horror movie. That's the best one ever."
Well, if you're a Claude Rains fan, that's definitely
The Thing is, of all the horror people I talk to, that is by far it gets the most number ones from people. So
Yeah.
I think you can't remake it. I'm hoping it's going to be a sequel, kind of like they did with Halloween, like literally anything but a remake or a goddamn prequel.
Jason, you read the novella. How about this? You redo it
No.
with the exact dialogue pulled from
God,
Actually,
the worst written book.
It's amazing that these movies.
I think I know what Jack's gonna say. So if it is,
there
I
had
wanna
been
say it.
news that there was going to be a film adaptation of Frozen Hell, which I guess was the expanded version of the original Who Goes There novella. So this actually might be the more loyal to the book version that you allude to.
That's what I heard. It was going to be based more off Frozen Hell than a remake.
That did not need anything additional added to it.
I've never even heard of Frozen Hell.
Thank God.
It's basically like an expanded version of the
Who Goes There?
By Campbell?
Awful original version.
I guess they found more of it somewhere.
It's
So
sprung
he
out of a
didn't
dog.
release it himself.
They probably dug through his files when he was there.
Yeah.
You know
I
how that goes.
think it was like found footage, but
They found it frozen in the ice and they thawed it out.
yeah.
That was one of the more disappointing reads of my life. I'll just put it
It was
that way.
in Wilfred Brimley's diaper.
They found it in the autopsy. Oh, damn. This is what gave him diabetes.
Oh,
No wonder he was so salty all the time.
It was in his cocoon.
He's sitting on a manuscript.
On the good news front,
Yes.
you're all fans of Don Coscarelli, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the most important Don Coscarelli movie, of course, is Beastmaster.
Oh, you know what? It was for me when I was young.
Is there any... you know that look you gave me when I asked about the pumpkin ale? I'm giving you that about Beastmaster. What else? Because I'll come over there with my friggin' tiger. Anyway, he did not have the rights to it, but he got the rights back.
Because nobody wanted them.
Seriously.
Because people have been asking him for years, like, why is there like a reboot or why isn't there any more Beastmaster? But he couldn't.
Who's asking?
So now he's like putting it out there. So we may get like a new Beastmaster or additional Beastmaster stuff.
I want Mark Singer and Tanya Roberts now.
Absolutely.
That's so good.
Who's the guy who played the bad guy?
Ooh,
Rip. Was it Rip?
Rip Taylor.
Taylor.
Hello.
Anyway, the other piece of this story though is he wanted to do a remastered version of it, but they can't find the original negatives. So
Oh.
there's actually a website. Let me see if I can find the name of it. They put up a website asking, they have where the trail went cold, and there's a website, whereisthebeastmaster.com, and they're looking to see if anybody happens to have it or know where it is. He said there's a chance it went in a dumpster and is gone, but they're doing there's a grassroots movement to try and find the original negatives of the Beastmaster so they can remaster it for Blu-ray.
Hey, you know what? I hope he finds it.
So do I. Listen, that's on my watch list because I watched it 1,000 times when I was in high school. I would love to revisit it.
I took the girl next door out to watch that. The girl I had a crush on forever. I took her to see it. Had uncontrolled boners through the entire thing. So Tanya
And then she
Roberts-
never called you again.
No, she didn't. She that was the end of that.
Beastmaster ruining lives.
But then she grew up and became a teacher and taught my children how to read. How weird is that?
That's very unfortunate.
It's not unfortunate. It worked out.
Explains how your children ended up that way.
My kids are smart. God damn it.
She taught you how to love, and then she taught your children algebra.
How to leave them.
If they're looking for the negatives, they should check TNT headquarters because they had that shit on repeat through the 90s.
Right.
That and the Shawshank Redemption was non-freaking stop on TNT.
In Ted Turner's fucking bathroom somewhere.
That's why Jason went. I think with Tim and I both, when you said that you had only seen Deep Blue Sea like once, we're like, how could? Because that was on like all the time.
Yeah, HBO had it on repeat.
Well, I mean, it came out, what, 99?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I went to college in 2000 and I did not watch television for 5 years. So,
True. 7.
eh.
All right, that's all the news.
All right, Jack. Thank you very much for depressing us and then lifting us up a little bit. So let's move on to the things that we picked out of our nose and watched with our eyes.
We have such sights to show you.
Oh, Pinhead, you make my nipples hard. So today I'm going to start with Tim because Jason is always like the leader, but I'm gonna mix it up today.
Excellent. So I watched a little movie called The Guest. Heard of it?
Good flick.
Yep.
Yeah. It was very enjoyable. It's about a soldier who kind of returns home and introduces himself to this family whose son died in combat, apparently. And he kind of just becomes like real close with his family, and then people around the family and around town start to die, and it's kind of like one of those things where it's like, did he do it? Is it him doing all this stuff, or is it somebody else? And it was pretty cool. It was like a good like gory action flick, and it has a few twists and turns. I thought Dan Stevens did like a really good job in that role, and apparently there's going to be a sequel, and I'm really hoping that it actually happens. So
Really?
that's what I heard. Yeah,
Like
The movie came out
700
like 6 years ago.
Yeah. 700 of us saw it.
I know.
That's
Apparently there's going to be a sequel. That's what I heard.
Everybody
was
who
your first
saw it
time
though
watching
liked it.
Yeah, I mean it kind of flew under the radar for me. I heard about it, and then I think it popped on Netflix a little while ago, and I finally got around to watching it. So, yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed it, and I like Dan Stevens. I think he's a pretty good actor.
Every time I hear Dan Stevens, I think of like a 70s singer. I don't know why. There must be somebody with that same name.
I don't think so.
Cat Stevens, maybe.
Cats in the cradle with the silver spoon.
This was directed by Wingard, Adam Wingard, written by Simon Barrett.
Yep.
This was the movie that got me really excited for the remake of Blair Witch, or the sequel, or whatever they were going to do. Because I was like, my God, these guys are killing it. And I don't know what happened with Blair Witch, but
stomped your nards. Oh, it's got Micah Monroe in it. That's why I like this movie.
Yeah,
love her.
It was a good movie. It was one of those I knew nothing about, and when it came out, I was like, that was fun.
Yeah, I didn't really know much about it either going into it, even though it was out for 6 years. And I think knowing nothing about it is actually the best way to go into this one. So
I found that's the best way to go into everything at this point.
Yeah, really, I kind of agree. Trailers nowadays are just like ridiculous.
Just like last night, my wife's like, "What's Uncle Peckerhead about?" I'm like, I don't know. Sounds like a fucking hillbilly movie. So let's do it.
That's what I'm gonna name my autobiography.
All right, Jason, what did you watch?
What the hell did I watch?
Are you in another series, or are you just?
Oh yeah, that's what it was. I started another series. I was so excited watching it that I couldn't even remember what the hell it was. I decided, because I hadn't watched this since the old VHS days, that I need to watch 976 Evil.
Oh.
Quick point. One of the few movies I've ever turned off halfway through. Just saying, nope, enough is enough.
There's a reason why you should watch it as a horror fan. Jason, do you know why?
Well, it's directed by Freddy Krueger himself. I know that.
There it is.
I really did not like this when I saw it in high school. I really did not like this movie. Rewatching it now, it's not particularly good, but it does have some entertaining qualities to it. So if you haven't seen it and you can watch it for free, I think this one of these was on Prime and one of them wasn't. I actually think I own the first one. I think it was the second one's on Prime. I was watching thinking, boy, the story doesn't make much sense because they're not explaining everything. Phone rings, and when you answer it, your horoscope, or you call the number and get your horror scope, like horror films. And then your life slowly devolves, and eventually the phone starts ringing when you're near it, and the same voice is calling you. And I don't know.
You had to be alive when this was happening, by the way. This is like you'd call 976 numbers for sex and horoscopes and psychics.
Yeah, so I heard they were going to remake this. How? No one knows what the hell a 900 number is.
I know. What are they going to call it? Like youpornevil.com?
Yeah, www.976evil.com.
Weird.
I don't know. But the dude from Fright Night, what the hell is his name?
Evil Ed.
Evil Ed. I have his autograph.
The actor's name. What the hell is the actor's name? God, now I can't remember it.
I can't. I have it. And
Stephen Jeffries? Is that him? That's him. So I was kind of bored at certain points of this movie, so I'm looking up the actors and stuff. Oh, whatever happened to Evil Ed? Oh, he did gay porn in the 90s. Okay. Yeah. So
Are you kidding me?
big career turn. Yep. Really low budget.
Like an otter? Like what would hit? He's not a bear.
That was where my research stopped. So I couldn't tell you how he got cast in those, but
He never wore condoms.
Instead of turning into a wolf, he turned into a big old bear.
Rawr.
So I don't know. This is tough. There's some entertaining horror stuff in it. The story is not explained at all. Why is there a haunted phone line? I don't know. One guy seems to be the devil. Maybe, I'm not sure. There are no good characters in it. Everyone is kind of a piece of shit. So there's no one to root for. You're just kind of just hoping they all die. And then it ends. And I realized why Robert Englund maybe doesn't direct a lot of films.
Yeah.
It was better directed than I expected, but the last act is all miniatures shot in like forced perspective and stuff and laying over different things. And it doesn't look great.
That's too bad. I haven't watched it since the 80s. It's been a long. That was like a rental where, we saw that. Maybe I don't need to see it again.
Maybe give it a pass unless you got nothing else going on. It's not terrible, but it's just, I don't know. Of course, Barnard was going nuts on Twitter for it. So as soon as he said that, I'm like, I'm going to hate this.
The maker of Meathead and Meathead 2 is going to love that.
Yep.
All right, Jack. And your Evel Knievel shirt.
I went back to 1986 and watched a movie I haven't watched in a long time. It's Vamp with Grace Jones, the vampire movie.
Oh my God.
It's on Tubi TV.
I forgot that one existed.
Yeah, it's one of those ones you don't think about much. So do you guys know who Grace Jones is?
Of course.
Tim's giving me the look.
She was the one of the warriors in Conan 2?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's trying to be like Fright Night, but it's about these college kids who I think it's Long Duck Dong is the kid whose car they or he's in one of he's got
around for a while.
Yeah, he was in a bunch of the movies. These two college guys get him because he's got a car, and they go to the city to this strip club, I think to get strippers for a party or something like that. And they end up in this weird outskirts of town kind of strip club, and it's full of vampires. And this movie is trying to be a kind of Fright Night-like movie, but with a teen comedy. So think like all the 80s, summer school, all those
Zits movies.
Porky's, all that stuff, but also like a vampire movie. And it doesn't really succeed as a great vampire movie or as a great teen comedy. But the notable thing about this movie is it's From Dusk Till Dawn just took this concept.
I was going to say,
and made it.
Inspired the titty twister.
Yeah. So Grace Jones does the whole dance thing. Nowhere near as memorable as Salma Hayek, but
no,
like that was the thing. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. These guys did the whole stripper bar vampire thing first, but nowhere near as well. So, and the comparison stopped pretty quickly. But
so Tarantino copied this movie, you think? At least
I don't think he did. Just the premise
Tarantino has ever done as a copy off of something that someone else has done.
Essentially, yes.
Okay.
I have an editor who can like go take you through everything he's ever stolen. It's really amazing to listen to.
I mean, as you're just watching this trailer, you can see, a lot of From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah.
In it, but From Dusk Till Dawn is way better than this.
When did you watch this, by the way?
It's on Tubi TV.
Oh, that's Tubi. Oh, it's free. It's perfect.
So that was it. It was perfect to go back. And like I said, this was one of those ones I saw a few times back in probably the late 80s because it was on cable a lot. And then I was like, let me go check it out. So again, if you're a vampire fan and you just want to, maybe you've never heard of this one, or you want to just kind of see a completist or just looking for something different to watch, check it out. But if you're really looking for like the next great hidden gem, this isn't it, but it's worth a look if you're looking for, the Grace Jones vampire movie.
Scarily enough, my youngest is 21, and for the last 10 years, we've been talking about owning, building a titty twister bar, like since she was 11. We've been talking about this. Show number isn't right.
You know who I think is in it? The guy who runs the strip bar. I think he's the guy from Seinfeld with "Take the pen, take the pen."
Just take the pen, Jerry.
He's
all right. I don't have to watch it again. I saw it once.
I'm just surprised I've never even heard of it.
Really? Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
You should check it out.
I haven't heard of it either, so don't.
Yeah,
feel bad.
you two go ahead. You spend that hour and a half. We've already done. Because Shudder has loaded up all the Maniac Cop movies, I said, all right, let me sit down and watch Maniac Cop. It's been a long time. And I'm like, it's William Lustig directed it, he of Maniac fame, and Cohen, Larry Cohen, produced and wrote it. How can you lose? Basically, you can't.
Nope.
This movie is so good. But what I say about this, and it's like Head and Lauder with Basket Case captured this. They captured this like really like gritty, grimy, shitty moment in New York City. And
it's about to be 2021, so just hold on. We're gonna get more.
I wish to God Larry Cohen was still alive, because the aesthetic of New York is coming back thanks to Bill de Blasio. So it's just a fun movie. It's just Dead Cop. There's Bruce Campbell in it. There is what's his face? Thrill Me.
Oh God, my brain.
Oh my God, we're all in trouble now.
Oh my God,
Tom Atkins.
Thank you, Jesus.
So, by the way, if you have William Lustig, Larry Cohen, Tom Atkins, and Bruce Campbell, they could sit around and shit on a coffee table for 2 hours, and it's going to be great.
True.
Great to watch. This is such a fun movie, and as much as I love Maniac Cop, for my next review, it's the sequel, Maniac Cop 2. That took it to a whole other level. I mean, because I never saw Maniac Cop 2, so I'll talk about that later.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but Maniac Cop was a shit ton of fun, especially coming from a New Yorker, and I love just watching kind of like old time New York with the way it was when I was like roaming around Manhattan.
So this is the same guy who did Maniac Cop?
Yeah, of course. Why not?
It is.
So
William Lustig.
So he's just got the whole 70s Times Square, whatever, 1980 Times Square.
If it's Maniac on the poster, I'll do the goddamn movie.
These, because they're on Shudder, they've been on my to-do list. So this is funny. I haven't seen these since. I don't think I've ever seen the second one either. And I saw the first one a billion years ago, probably with Morgan.
I think I saw the first one in the 80s, and I haven't watched it since. So I'm glad I rewatched it, and it made me very excited for the sequel. So for good reason.
Did William Lustig do anything else after these?
Yeah, he's done some Darkman stuff and things like that. So it doesn't do a lot.
It looks like Maniac Cop 3 basically destroyed his directing.
Crushed him, yeah.
Well, if you watch Maniac Cop 3, it's like, yeah.
But Maniac Cop 2 is, well, I'll go into that later.
Hell yeah.
All right, Tim, you're up.
Okay, I watched a little movie called Session 9, which just popped on Netflix a few weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Fake ghost story? No, kidding.
I was kind of surprised by this. This is another movie that kind of just slipped under my radar, and I'd never seen it before.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Were you in when I was talking about it a couple weeks ago?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
I want to hear your opinion as someone who saw it for the first time.
Yeah. So I didn't really know what to expect. But I didn't hate it. I didn't love it, but I definitely enjoyed it. I liked a lot of the twists and turns, and I always like those stories where people are kind of slowly losing their mind, and you can kind of see that unfold. I enjoy that stuff. So it's basically, if you haven't seen it, it's about a group of, I guess they're asbestos. They're going in there to clean out asbestos, I think, if I remember correctly. And they're going into this abandoned mental hospital. And then one of the people find these old tapes from this schizophrenic lady. And he's listening to the tapes. And then basically bad shit starts happening. The guys start ending up dying. And you basically try to figure out who's responsible for the whole thing. And I thought they did a good job. I think it was written very well. I thought the characters, they all all the actors did a really good job portraying those characters, and I think it was pretty fleshed out pretty well for what it was. And I don't know, I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it's like the best movie I've ever seen. I know a lot of people like love this movie. It has like really big fans, but it falls like somewhere, I don't know, out of 5 I'd probably give it like a 3.5. And it was good to see Josh Lucas in something like this, because I think he's like a super underrated actor.
I think if you give some time to this movie, like you see it, and if you wait a few years and watch it again, I bet you'll like it more, because it's going to grow on you.
It does, because the first time I saw it, I was like, boring.
Yeah, it was a little slow, but I think honestly maybe a second. It's one of those movies where maybe a second or even a third watch might enhance it a little bit better.
Yeah,
but
I just rewatched it. I don't know was it, maybe 6 weeks ago, a month ago. I rewatched it and I liked it significantly more. Yeah, I hadn't seen it since when it came out, 2001, maybe.
Yeah,
like I hadn't seen it since then.
You're
and
probably fresh off Children of the Corn 6, so you were dying for anything.
That is
anything
very
would,
true.
Anything would be better.
Hunter and Jason, are you guys counting down the moments until I talk about how I've been to this insane asylum?
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, sure.
Sam, I've been to that place. I snuck up to it.
Yeah?
Once. Yeah, before they knocked it down. I've been there.
Nice. Did you take pictures?
No, it's before camera phones and all that.
Yeah. Before
He rode his horse up there, and he didn't want to put up the tripod with the hood for the camera.
Pentax camera.
I didn't have the sheet to put over myself.
All right, Jason, what you got?
I got the gem that is 976 Evil 2. And I am not saying that jokingly. So once again, I don't know how I keep running into movies by the legend Jim Wynorski. This man has done every horror sequel in these series. He did it was like one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Ghoulies. Ghoulies 4. He did Ghoulies 4 that I just watched.
Didn't he do Chopping Mall?
Chopping Mall, yeah. That was like
which I'm watching as we're doing this right now.
This freaking movie, oh my God, it is so Jim Wynorski through and through. If you need somebody to do a sequel for $45 with a bunch of explosions and naked chicks, you bring in Jim Wynorski, and that is 976 Evil 2. It is glorious. It's so much fun to watch.
You're the only person I've ever heard say this.
Is Evil Ed in it?
No. The main actor from the first one, this dude, I don't remember his name. He shows up again. He's like the only person to survive the first one. And he shows up as like this biker dude who I guess is trying to track down the voice on the phone or something. So he gets involved in another town where a professor is being taken over by the evil 900 number. And the professor is going out of his body at night and killing people, which is not in the first movie. So there's all this celestial plane shit. I don't know what the hell you want to call it. Stuff going on. The story, of course, makes very little sense. It's Jim Wynorski, but he starts with some naked stuff, and then there's some explosions, and then there's a woman running around with her midriff out the whole movie, and some more explosions, and it's a lot of fun. If you like watching,
I have to rewatch this.
Bad movies. This is great. Like, it's so entertaining. There is no time in it where you're going to be bored, which is the opposite of 976 Evil.
Well, that's key.
Yes. This is made way worse than the first one, but it's significantly more entertaining. So,
wow.
Do you need to watch the first one to watch the second one?
No. No. I mean, the story of the first one didn't make sense, and it makes way less sense in this one. Just know the biker dude survived the first movie. That's all you have to know. Who gives a shit? This is a 6-pack kind of movie. It's worth it though. This would be a good last drive-in movie, is what this would be.
If I drank a 6-pack of Trial by Wombat, I'd be dead midway through.
Oh, that might not be so bad, depending on your view of the movie.
I dare you.
I dare you. They only sell them in 4s, though.
I double dog dare you.
All right, Knievel. Can you top that?
I can top that
for a topper.
Oh. I got home late one night.
Taking it, dude.
Jesus.
And I said, I got to watch something. But I need to watch something uplifting and fun and not going to make me fall asleep. So I went back and watched Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Good choice.
Always a good choice.
What a freaking great movie.
Oh.
You know, like, and some, you just always remember it fondly, but once in a while you just got to pop this baby in. What a great movie. Alan Tudyk is the greatest.
So good.
This is just one of the great horror comedies, and I think everybody who's seen it loves it, but I don't know. It's not as prominent sometimes on lists and things like that, or people talking about it, but everybody should see this movie. It's so funny.
It really is.
Yeah, it's hysterical.
So basically, it's these two rednecks, and there's this group of college kids who are going on. They're going to their cabin in the woods to fix it up, and these other kids are going up there to party or whatever, and they are afraid that these guys are serial killers, but they're not, and so some of the kids are like accidentally killing themselves, and it's just I can't even explain it. It's just it's absurd and hilarious, and Katrina Bowden's in it. So what else do you need?
Oh, well, there you go.
Solid review for a solid film.
Yeah, there we go.
It was one of those that when it came out, I was like, not that interested. And then I finally got around to it. It's like, why the hell didn't I watch this before?
There is a scene where Alan Tudyk is running away from a swarm of like bees, and there's a kid who was like chasing him or something, and so he's running and he doesn't know, and all of a sudden he looks in slow motion, he sees the kid running next to him, and the look he gives this kid, like, what the hell? It's just, it's such a, if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. It's the look on his face is just so priceless. Oh, it's so great.
Yeah, that's a you know, I can't believe I don't have that more in my rotation. I need to add that in there because that's a fun ass movie.
Yeah. Same. I think I've only seen it once.
I think I've seen it twice, but it's definitely a movie I have to go back and watch like at least every couple of years because it's just so much fun. And Alan Tudyk is so good in everything. Like that guy needs an Oscar. I don't think he has one, but he needs one.
The horror community needs its own version of the Oscars.
Yeah.
What were those Spike TV rewards a couple years ago? They didn't last long.
No. Maybe we should start the Oscars for horror.
We should. Do it.
I'll follow your lead on this one.
Yeah, I'm too lazy though. So
I'm giving Alan Tudyk Alan Tudyk gets the Lifetime Achievement Award.
No. Well, and we'll remember John Saxon this year. In memoriam. All right. So naturally I went to Maniac Cop 2. Maniac Cop 2 takes things to a level where I'm watching this movie going, the stunts are so insane. I think half the stunt people are dead.
For real.
This is like a crew of people who did a lot of shit without like getting permits and did a lot of like renegade shooting. So I'm just wondering about the health and safety of everybody in this. This movie is crazy. Bruce Campbell returns again. So this is, I don't think people ever think Bruce Campbell's in these movies because they never talk about him in Maniac Cop 1 and 2. Of course, he's not in there.
Yeah, they really don't.
But in this movie, you have Bruce Campbell. He's back. He survived. I'll tell you right now, it's not a spoiler. He doesn't last very long. But Maniac Cop 2 is back. He's alive. He's like that big jawed guy who used to be on like X-Files sometimes.
Robert Zadar.
Yeah, he befriends like a lunatic, like a Charles Manson serial killer lunatic, and it becomes like a buddy show. This movie is weird, but again, it's showing New York at its shittiest, which I kind of appreciated. But the stunt work is insane. There's a scene when they go up into the jail where Maniac Cop is set on fire. Holy Christ.
It lasts forever.
This scene must give Kane Hodder like the Hershey squirts watching it because whoever the stuntman is, he's on fire for an enormously long time. And there's a lot of shit going on in it. And this movie is great to the point where I have to own the Blu-ray, and this will become like a Horror-tober staple for me from now on because I just loved everything about this movie. There was no downtime, just one thing after another, and it was all nuts. So much fun.
I had never seen this. When did I watch the series? Maybe January or February. I'd only ever seen the first one. And watching the second one, I'm like, this is so much better than the first. And I liked the first, but the second one is madness.
It's another level. Like
I
the
noticed-
first one, when the Maniac Cop drove the truck off the pier in New York.
Yeah, with the
And that
stuntman on the side.
stuntman's hanging on the side. I'm like, oh my God, he's gonna die. They repeat that in this one because that stunt was so good. They need to show it again. But then they just up it and said, I'm just gonna try to kill as many people as we can here in New York.
Yeah.
I noticed Charles Napier's in it. The
Yes.
leader of the Good Old Boys from the Blues Brothers, Tucker McElroy, driver of the Winnebago.
So is Michael Lerner, who I love. Michael Lerner is in it. Clarence Williams is in this too. He's like some tweaking insane like prisoner. And Danny Trejo is in it at one point where he's just kind of like sitting around in the cell that they throw
I don't remember that.
Yeah. So
Michael Lerner, God, he just pops up in everything.
I love Michael Lerner. I love him in Road to Wellville. That's my favorite movie he was ever in.
Is it the first one or the second one where there's the extended scene in the prison where they're stabbing Robert Zadar in the face?
That's the second one.
Is that okay?
Because he's very naked. So if you're
he's very naked.
Male back nudity. That's the movie.
He's a big old dude back then.
Jesus Christ, he was huge. His body matched his chin.
It's a lot of chin in that movie. You got Napier and him.
His jaw's insane. All right, Tim.
All right. I'm gonna round out my selections with a book. I'm going to go Mexican Gothic by
can you mail that to
Silvio
me?
Morano Garcia. I can if you want me to, or you can just buy it because it's a really good book. I really enjoyed it. It takes place in Mexico, obviously, and it's about this girl who gets sent from her family to go visit her cousin, who's kind of like trapped in this Gothic castle that's overlooking this small Mexican town. And the woman's been sending the family like these crazy letters about like haunted ghosts and just like all these weird shit that she's been seeing. And so the main character gets sent to investigate, and it's like really well done. It's not that big. It's only about 300 pages, but it starts from like chapter 1, and it just like it goes to places that you wouldn't really expect from a novel like this, and it gets really insane. And I'm really glad I picked it up and read it because it's very enjoyable, and the writing is really, really good as well. So yeah, I mean, if you're into that kind of stuff, like the mystery horror, definitely pick it up.
I'm dying to read that in Riley Sager's new book. They're high on my list.
Yeah, definitely. I recommend this one. Definitely a 5 out of 5 for sure.
Ooh.
Is that a new release?
Yeah, it just came out maybe a
Like
month and a half ago. Yeah, month and a half ago.
Nice. I hadn't even heard of it. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah.
Very enjoyable.
You get it in ebook, Jason.
Yeah.
Is it one of those $15 ebooks?
It's
probably. I'll
it's
guarantee
it's Del Rey, so probably it's like a major publisher.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah, I never understood that. Like, you're gonna charge $15 for the ebook, but I could buy the hardcover for like $17 off Amazon.
It's bizarre.
Book publishers.
That's okay. You know what? If we get that deal, we want that friggin' money too. So,
I guess people are paying it, otherwise they wouldn't do it, right?
yeah, exactly.
I think they're just trying to prop up their paper business. I think that's all it is.
Maybe they're trying to get people to just buy the hardcovers.
So what you got, Jason?
I have one last thing. I started playing a game called Control on PC. I think, but it's on PlayStation and Xbox and everything. And I haven't finished it yet. I don't know, maybe halfway through. But you play this woman, this agent, I guess, who goes into a building that is constantly changing around her. Like the structure of the building changes and is different from what you see on the outside. And you don't really understand what's happening. You don't really seem to know much of anything, like almost like your memory has been wiped. And as you start going through things, you get powers and you start fighting, scary stuff.
Got the power.
And it's actually really fun so far. The thing I like about this company, Remedy, I think it is they do great stories in their games. They did Alan Wake and a bunch of other things. I think the first Max Payne, if I recall. So their stories are awesome, and they always have a horror tint to them, even if they're not meant to be a horror game, which I think is this one. But you run into some pretty creepy shit, and so far I'm loving it. I can't tell you about the end yet because I haven't gotten there, but if you're looking for a good game, I got it for like $30, $20, $30 on sale. It is killer. So check it out if you like it. That kind of thing.
Alan Wake was like one of my favorite games. I fucking love that game so much.
Yeah. This plays very much like it. It's solid.
So while you were playing video games, Jack was playing Canasta by himself. So I know you don't have a game, Jack.
We were out in the pickleball court before.
Pickleball.
Pickleball is amazing. I used to love playing pickleball.
My friend just built a pickleball court in his yard.
Invite me over. I'm there.
All right. Well, in the history of slasher movies, everybody likes to talk about, how Black Christmas is the first one, like before Halloween. But there's another slasher movie that's in before Halloween that not a lot of people have seen. It's called Alice, Sweet Alice.
I love that movie.
And it's been 1 billion years since I saw this movie, so I went back. I think I saw it on Prime. This is a notable movie because it stars little tiny Brooke Shields, who they build up to be a bigger star once she got famous. She's not in the movie that much, but I think it's like her first movie. So this is originally the name of this movie was Communion, and basically there's two sisters. Yeah, that guy. The little sister is murdered, and the big sister Alice is suspected of the murder. And there's a murderer with a yellow raincoat and one of those like translucent Halloween masks. And the great thing about this movie is the attacks. In so many of these slasher movies, the slasher is so powerful and efficient, and that they've planned everything so the person can't always goes the way that they want them to, or they don't stand a chance. In this one, the slasher many times will attack somebody and just like mess up their leg and stuff, and they're crawling away. Like they don't kill the person on their first try, and the person's like in total pain, so they're drawn out. So listen, this movie's like 1976, so it's definitely, you got to put on I'm watching a 70s movie. But if you're a slasher fan and you want to go back and check one out that maybe you haven't seen before, this is definitely one that you should worth seeking out. It's an interesting little flick.
If you want to be unsettled, just watch the relationship between Brooke Shields' little sister and the fat weird dude in the apartment below.
Yes.
That nowadays it's going to set up so many triggers. I'm sure most people can't watch it, but
that guy in the apartment is one of the more disgusting people in a movie I've ever seen.
Oof.
Damn.
Worst movie ever. Like
he was asking for John Doe in 7 to take him out.
Yeah, it's really gross. Like every time he's on screen, you just shiver and want to just run scalding hot water on your body.
What do you think of that movie?
I love that movie. I think it's so good.
I thought I'd seen it, but looking at those pictures, I'm not recognizing any of it.
It's a cool ending too. So
one of the great things about it is it's kind of like it's a slasher movie, but it doesn't follow the formula because there was really no formula yet. So you can call it a slasher movie, but it's definitely a horror movie.
Oh yeah.
So it's a definitely notable one, but you hear the name every now and then, but you don't really hear people talking about it unless they're kind of doing sort of an essay on the slasher movie. So,
sweet Alice. I know. Please, just enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to finish with a book. I read this horrendous novel, Beers and Fears: The Haunted Brewery.
Oh, that bullshit.
You guys know this book?
Why would you do that?
Yeah.
By the way, this is Tim is one of the writers in this, as is Armand Rosamilia, Chuck Buda, and Frank Edler. You guys should just call yourselves like the Jersey Misfits or something like that.
The Brew Crew.
I think the Brew Crew. This was a fun ass book. I remember I bought this and the sequel like the same day. I was like, all right, I got to read these. Like, finally got to sit down and read these damn things because I never got around to like see you guys in the brewery. I'm like, so I never got like my copy. It's literally an episode of like Creep Show or Tales from the Crypt. And the best part was I didn't cheat to find out who wrote what. And I said, I've read all of you. And so I'm going to try to guess the style. Dude, as I'm reading the wraparound, I'm going, oh, it's Tim.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, that's Tim. I nailed every single one of you.
You
I felt
have
so
to.
proud of myself.
Yeah, that was like one of the things we tried to do is make sure that each story like had our own voice because I think that makes it a little bit more special.
Yeah, because it's about this guy who's like trying to write a book and he visits this dude running a brewery and he just tells him these different tales of what's gone on in this place for the last, how many years? Was it
30
50?
years.
30?
Yeah, I think we each wrote
we started in Vietnam.
Decade, yeah. So it was like 70s, 80s, 90s, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. It really took me back to watching Creep Show or Tales from the Crypt. And I thought you guys did a very good job. You all had your distinctive voices. So distinctive, I figured out who it was. Because I'm normally not that deep thinker when I'm reading. So I was like, oh, yeah, it's Tim. So I was very proud. That was good. And I can't wait for the second one. Once
Awesome.
I'm done, I'm reading all the Wayward Pines novels. Once I'm done with those, I jump into the sequel.
Those are pretty good. I think I read at least the first two.
Those are remarkable.
Blake Crouch might be the best writer working right now.
I fucking love Blake Crouch. Dark Matter is like one of the most underrated, underappreciated novels of all time.
And people ask me about that. And I'm like, I don't know if I have the intelligence to explain this. Just read it.
It's mind blowing.
It's really good. Read it.
I do want to say, I'm not a big fan of this brewery book bullshit because I was supposed to get a signed copy and, it just never showed up.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Wow.
You were pretty hammered. It was when you guys were doing the live stream and you were trying to give away a copy. You were like, just somebody type something in the comments and I will give it to you. And nobody would. So I was like, I'll take it.
Yikes. I mean, I literally have like 20 copies sitting right here. So if you want one, I'll send it. I'll send you both. I'll send you both right now.
I'll give you his address.
That was the time I think Frank kept saying I was independently wealthy for like 5 minutes.
Frank was shit-faced. And,
no way.
Yeah, he was hammered.
Frank always turns up whenever I'm doing something and just throws comments out there. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah, he's like, he's just the wild card, man.
Just eat your bratwurst in hell, man.
So yeah, anyway, I won't read that book. Screw you guys.
I'm still sending it to you anyway.
Not bitter at all.
Well, we touched a nerve here on Final Guys. It's the last episode of 4 Final Guys.
We touched Jason deep.
Come back next week when there's just 3. Are we all done?
Done.
Everyone's finished? All right. Let's jump into the Opus. The greatest movie with the greatest title since the Butthole Surfers, Uncle Peckerhead.
You like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
All right, Jack. Take your time. Take a few deep breaths. Try to explain the complexity of Uncle Peckerhead.
Don't ruin the twists.
Oh, please don't.
Duh is a punk band.
Duh.
Duh has just gotten their first tour. Duh's van got repossessed. Duh needs a ride.
Duh.
Duh meets Uncle Peckerhead, who has a van and agrees to drive them around on their tour. But Duh doesn't realize that every night Uncle Peckerhead turns into a flesh-eating demon.
As will happen.
So they got to deal with that, along with the rigors of being on tour. That's Uncle Peckerhead.
Yeah, your summations have become an art form.
Yeah.
It's like some kind of performance art every week.
So Jason, what are your thoughts on this movie?
This was a strange one. This was a really out there, fun movie. I enjoyed it a lot. It's not high art. It's not trying to be high art at all. But it was one of those where, kind of those horror comedies where if the tone gets you, you're going to like it. And if it doesn't, you're probably going to hate this movie. My wife was not a fan, particularly towards the end of the film, as things kind of went off the rails.
All my wife has been saying, she's in the room with me, is she just keeps going boring over and over again.
I did not think this was boring at all. Like, I enjoyed it quite a bit. I liked it.
All right, Tim.
I'm pretty much in agreement with Jason. It's just like a very simple premise for a movie, and it basically builds towards this one climax at the end of the movie that had me like near death because I was laughing so hard. We'll get to that when we get to spoilers, but I don't know, like I enjoyed it from what it was, and the whole movie I was like, the guy who made this is from New Jersey. Like, he has to be from New Jersey.
Oh, is he going to write the next Beers and Fears?
Maybe, but I looked him up, and he is indeed from New Jersey. So,
hey, quick aside: Alice, Sweet Alice, filmed in Patterson, New Jersey.
Oh, you do not want to go to Patterson, New Jersey, buddy.
No, what? Are you kidding? I go there, Newark, Trenton.
You don't want to go there. But yeah, I don't know. I enjoyed this movie. It was I mean, it had slow parts to it, but I enjoyed the comedy too. It had like this kind of dry humor and a mix of that and like ridiculous off the wall slapstick insanity. Which
like the dialogue was dry, but then the gags, the violent parts were not dry. They were very wet.
They were very wet.
So very moist.
Got alive wet.
A little bit more than moist. But what's the next level of moist? What's just a step above?
Mushy.
Mushy. Yeah.
Diarrhea.
It was slippery. Let's put it that way.
The director was Matthew John Lawrence, the Jersey boy.
Yep. Yeah. He. I think he did a good job with it. So I'm a fan.
All right, Jack.
I like this movie. Now, I'm probably more highbrow than some of these people who didn't like the movie.
Yeah, I mean, didn't like Mother.
But I just bring a level of intelligence to my theatrical viewing. Here's the thing about this movie. It's got some great gore, right? It's got some great laughs. But this is also a great road movie about a band. So I like the fact that they made a good movie about a band, that if you took Uncle Peckerhead out of this movie and just made a movie about this band, it probably would be pretty good. But adding Uncle Peckerhead makes it way better, of course. But like I guess what I'm saying is that they didn't just make a horror movie that would have been like a spoof or a farce. They made a good movie, and the humor is very good. It is spaced out though. But I did like the fact that it was a quality movie the whole way through. And there were definitely points where I was going, is this going too slow? What's going on? But then I realized that I was invested in the whole thing. And I liked the arc of the band and the characters from where they start and then what they have to deal with at the end of it. So I really like this movie.
All right.
Now, we like when people come on and talk to us about their movies. So let's keep things level. All right.
What? This is like the disclaimer before I talk?
Yeah. We could have had the director of Host on for sure, and that is never going to happen.
Well, you know what? If the director doesn't like honesty, you're in the wrong fucking business. Go make macrame in your fucking bedroom by yourself. Because 3 of the 4 of us write, and people have fucking opinions, and let them have their opinions. You can't take it, then you're in the wrong business.
I am so freaking tired of you talking. We write. Nobody cares.
Whatever, Jack.
Just give us your opinion about the freaking movie.
You are a knuckle.
Oh, I don't know how the sausage was made.
Trombone.
I've eaten more friggin' sausage than all 3 you put together. So stop talking about sausage.
Yeah, it shows.
Please.
Keep sweating that fucking grease.
What the fuck? You want spicy or do you want sweet?
So here's the deal. I didn't hate the movie. By the way, I thought it was okay. I thought it dragged in way too many spots.
You're not highbrow.
And there was a point when I looked over to my wife and I said, you know what? If they went full on Greasy Strangler, this movie would be fucking awesome. I think they had a really cool concept and they got too afraid to go full on with it, and they pulled back a little. Like, I don't really give a crap about the band, although I did like their music. Definitely channeling a lot of Green Day.
Very Green Day.
They were straight up Green Day, and I liked hearing more of their music at one point. I think the ending was just spot on. I thought that last couple of frames was perfect, but getting there, it just seemed a little too meandering for me. But it was fine. Look, I've seen far worse this year. Every time Uncle Peckerhead went off and there was lots of blood, I'm like, this is what I'm looking for. I really don't give a shit about the band, but maybe because I've done that crap when it sucked, so I don't want to relive it. You know what I mean? But it was fine. It's not going to be my favorite. No, you cannot tell. My wife is raising her hand. No, you can't add to this. Yeah, she's like, you needed a Rudy Tooty.
Rudy Tooty disco cutie.
Although it did have there was a connection because they did wash him off in the car wash. So there was a connection.
What was the movie we watched? Beach House, I think, where we were wondering if maybe they didn't do as much as they would have because of budgetary reasons. I wonder if this was kind of similar, because when things happened, they were crazy, but they didn't happen all that often.
Right.
So I would be curious if that was, or if this is just what they wanted to do.
Yeah, I don't think they had a big budget on this movie.
I don't think so either, but I think the script was done by design. Like, I think those slow parts were just to build the character in the band and their like character arcs. Like Jack said, they had like pretty good character arcs, I thought. Especially the main character, you know, you kind of, I don't know, I felt bad for her. She just wanted to really get that gig at the end.
She irritated the hell out of me.
I don't know. I thought,
and the other two had no arc whatsoever. They were as dumb in the end as they were in the beginning. Dumb and apathetic and whatever. That's fine.
I don't know. I liked her. I mean, she was a little quirky, but I think that was done again by just intention. So I don't know. I enjoyed it.
She was plucky. Tim.
Yeah, I liked her character. I don't know if it was because I actually liked her character, because the other two were like so insufferable that it made her seem normal.
Oh,
but yeah, I liked her character, and I thought the guy, I should have his name up here, who played Uncle Peckerhead, was hilarious.
Yeah,
he was great.
His mannerisms and everything just killed me. David Littleton.
Yeah. He also played the whole, you're not exactly sure what Uncle Peckerhead's motives are.
Yeah.
So he did a great job. He was funny and stuff, and he endeared himself to you. But you're always like, wait, what's going on with this guy? Can I trust him or not? So
anyone who wasn't an idiot would have picked up on his bullshit instantly. But these three morons.
Well, they're idiots. Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
undeniable.
Yeah.
But they're idiots just because they needed a ride, and like they would have done pretty much anything to get it.
That one girl was so driven. Like she was just so type A.
What year do you think this movie was set in?
That's a good question.
I'd say like 90s? Had to be the 90s.
Yeah, I was thinking early to mid 90s.
Yeah.
Although she gave a guy the invoice for the Day After pill. I'm like, I don't think that came out till like 2000.
I just assumed this was
15.
Was
really?
Current. I thought this was current day. What?
Yeah.
Well, nobody gives out demo tapes. That's not a thing anymore, right?
Yeah, they were playing cassette tapes. So
yeah,
they were playing cassette tapes. They were on like payphones, but then she went the Day After pill, which back in that day was an abortion.
I have no idea when the pill came out.
Listen,
I'm not an expert on that.
That sex scene was hilarious.
It was.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh my god.
The whole thing was killer. Yeah, I thought that part was funny. Every time you thought you were going to get somebody halfway normal in the movie, no.
I really enjoyed the metalhead scene too. I thought that was a nice touch. It was like that whole metal versus punk.
Oh Jesus!
Oh yeah.
I felt like saying I was a metalhead. We never did that.
I know, me neither. But like, it was still just funny, like that perspective of like that's how metalheads act, which isn't true, of course. But
yeah, the lead singer, who was King Douche, just reminded me of a couple authors I've talked to at times.
Oh yeah, I actually thought he did a really good job as well. I actually really liked the song that he sang at the end when they're at like.
Oh my god!
I'm like, what is this? It's like kind of catchy. It was very like doomy, and like metalish, and I like want to copy that. So if anybody knows where I can get that song on Spotify, let me know.
That exact version where he's blowing the mic out when he screams.
Yeah, I love that. I love when bands do that. It's just, it feels good to my ear hole.
I used to, back in the day, follow women into the ladies' room and just sing and scream over them.
Just stop.
Is that what got you the injunction?
And the men's room too.
Is that what
whatever was closest to me?
Is that what got you arrested the first time?
No, that's what made me a star.
Good acoustics in the
Jason,
bathroom.
I want to know who are the authors.
I'm not gonna.
I think the director or the writer, somebody involved in the movie, wrote the music for the songs.
Well, he wrote and directed the movie from my research.
So I think he wrote the songs then too.
Man, I have to like. He liked our tweets on Twitter, so maybe I'll just Twitter message him.
Some of the songs are really good. Like I wanted to hear more of the music.
Yeah, I thought the music was really
and
good.
the actors learned to play the instruments, so they're playing. I don't know about the drummer, but the two guitarists.
They did a lot of editing.
Really?
For her.
But they're singing it.
I thought, oh, okay. I thought I saw them editing around, but maybe they weren't.
Wow.
Yeah, when they sang the first time and it was the Green Day punk stuff, I was like, this should suck. This is a low budget film. The music should be awful. And I was very surprised.
Yeah.
Very surprised.
Yeah, they came a point. I'm like, here's what I want to see. Singing, murder. Like, just give me alternating scenes of singing and murder. I'll be perfectly happy because I thought Uncle Peckerhead. You know what? I was thinking Uncle Peckerhead could either go the Greasy Strangler route or Terrifier. Like in my head, I'm like, this is where this concept should go.
Yeah.
Like, it kind of went in the middle somewhere.
How the hell could this movie go Greasy Strangler?
It could have just been like off the wall. Ridiculous.
Greasy Strangler, Uncle Peckerhead. Come on, just the titles alone, you can just go slot them right in.
I liked that Uncle Peckerhead went the Uncle Peckerhead route. I quite enjoyed it.
I did enjoy it. It was fun.
I don't know. I feel like there have been 5 movies we've picked, maybe 5 movies we've picked all year that I haven't liked. I don't know why. I just feel like we're on a stretch where you guys are picking good movies. Yeah. Which is good because I'm watching the most horrible shit throughout the week on my own.
This is true. We're trying to do this for your sanity.
It's working.
Can we talk about the poop stuff?
Jack,
yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Holy shit, that scene is fucking amazing.
That my wife was kind of not on board already to that point, and then when the spraying started, she just gave me this fucking look, like she turned around slowly, like Arnold used to do in movies, and just looked at me.
Mine was already asleep by then, so I was watching that in the clear.
I'm glad my wife did not watch this movie because I would have gotten probably the same look and been like, "You're never picking another movie to watch in this house ever again."
Especially when she sees the glee on your face.
Yeah, like I'm laughing, breaking a rib from laughing so hard. Oh God, it was done so well. It was so glorious.
Maybe the problem here is it was too extreme for normies, but not extreme enough for the black shirt crew.
Might have been.
That's fair, I guess. I don't know. I just don't think they wanted to make that type of movie, though. I think they wanted to make like a good balance.
If you cater to the Hunter Shays of the world, all you're going to end up with is a pile of, burnable porn.
First of all, Greasy Strangler came from Tim.
Yeah,
just remember that.
That is true.
I will never forget sitting and watching that with my wife.
But I
almost got divorced.
How was that, by the way? Did she look at you funny afterwards?
Yeah, I'm not sure if she finished it, to be honest.
Jason only cleans himself in car washes now.
That's a crime.
Deeply affected him.
Yeah, that's fair.
The car wash scene.
How could she not like that movie? It's like even my wife enjoyed that movie kind of to a certain point.
Mine did too.
I'll have to ask her. It's been so long, I don't remember. I could have actually watched it on my own.
I think it's time for a rewatch.
It is not one she's going to like, though. I'm going to get in trouble if I put that on.
Hunter Farmer is in the chat room. You son of a bitch.
Colin, you son of a bitch. We'll meet at Colony and get some beers after this.
So back to diarrhea. One of my favorite lines of dialogue in the movie was after that he just spray paints that room when they're all in the van. He says, "I'm sorry." What do you say? Yeah, "I'm sorry you have like my diarrhea on you," or
My dookie.
My dookie's
That's
out.
a very southern thing. Like my family's all from the south. It's dookie.
Sorry, my dookie's all over you.
I kept going, will you people just clean that shit off?
I know. Oh my god.
How are you living like this?
I know. It's not like they couldn't just stop at a rest stop and just wipe that shit off.
How about the house they were staying in? There was, I'm sure,
anywhere really. A river,
that guy smells
natural
like,
water.
That guy smells are just like, is that shit?
How very punk of you. That's how they can get away with it.
Oh, that.
We should also go ahead.
No,
I was going to say we should talk about the very end.
That's what I was going to get to. So they, just before their big gig, the cops come and go, is that your van? And you're going, well, is she going to tell them, no, that's not my van? Or is she going to play this big show where she could get a big record deal? She tells them, and then they go to jail for 8 months. And then they get let free. And they do this kind of like we're out tour. And the first show is running great. And then I love as she's playing and she sees Uncle Peckerhead show up at the back of the audience. And it's almost midnight. And she knows exactly what's going to happen. No words from the peanut gallery. Jesus Christ.
It's like the 10th time I've heard her.
Yeah. Jesus. She won't stop tonight.
She must really hate this movie.
She does.
Where's the beef?
I'm not her this time.
Yeah, that's I do love that scene. There was a part of me that was like, oh man, how cool would it be to just show Uncle Peckerhead just ripping through this crowd? But I actually like the choice not to show it and just to show her eyes and like her reaction to like the chaos unfolding before her, because I thought that was a little bit more it felt better. Like,
yeah, I agree. You don't need to see everything all the time.
Yeah.
And the arc is they find out what he is. Then they're outraged and terrified. Then they kind of start to take advantage of it because he's killing and eating the people who are being mean or hurting them.
Right.
Then they kind of find out that he's been lying to them about the needles and all that stuff. So they're like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe we can't trust this guy as much as we thought. So that ending was perfect because you're like basically like the piper. It's time to pay the piper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I felt so bad when they kicked him out of the band. Like I really felt for him. I really did. Because
it's funny because you do feel for him, even though he's a killer.
He's just like an old man he's lonely and he has like an issue obviously, and he was just trying to do his best, and he really did kind of he protected them a little bit. Kind of did a little bit.
Murdering people left and right.
Yeah, he got them money and like he was protecting them from like the douchebags that were like shitting on them. And like I don't know, you could make an argument that he was like part of the band and that he protected them a lot.
You could have a worse van driver.
And when they kicked him out, like his reaction to that was, I thought, pretty good. Like the actor did a good job portraying that.
I was curious what you guys would think about the ending because it's a serious moment in an otherwise unserious film. And I thought that was an interesting choice to have the last 30 seconds just be dead serious. Like no jokes, no riffing, nothing. Just it was dour and a pretty abrupt end for what the movie had been. So I was curious if you guys would have liked that or not.
I loved it because he's a freaking serious monster. And they just got on the wrong side of him. And when you do that, you're done.
Shouldn't have pissed him off. Shouldn't have kicked him out of the band.
That's right. That's what Steven Adler said.
It's kind of like in Tiger King when the tiger bites the guy's arm off. And you're like, it's only a matter of time, dude.
Yeah. It's like the same exact thing as that.
It's just like that. Or the part in Tiger King where the guy accidentally shoots himself in the mouth.
It's just like Tiger King.
They should feed Carol Baskin to Uncle Peckerhead. Fuck you, Carol Baskin.
I want to name my next dog Uncle Peckerhead. Just so every time we go into the vet, your dog's name Uncle Peckerhead.
So was his name Uncle Peckerhead purely for marketing reasons?
Probably,
I guess.
Wait, within the movie?
Because they don't really call.
They never really expect
at all.
They don't explain the name at all.
No,
so my name's Uncle Peckerhead. They just call him Peck. Is it purely just because we're never going to forget the name of this? It is a brilliant name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't even think they call him Uncle Peckerhead, right? It's just Peckerhead.
They just call him
Peck.
They just call him Peck the whole movie. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a brilliant name. I mean, how
It
could you
is.
not watch a movie called this?
He didn't have to go on a marquee, so it's all right.
That
Unlike
first
the ass ponies regretted their name.
that first time when you see it in the trailer when she walks in on him and he's eating the guy and he looks up like, oh shit, I've been caught.
He's screaming as much as she is.
Yeah. That was really funny.
Solid movie. I liked it.
Enjoyed it.
Now that we have the Jersey connection here, I think, Tim, you need to write a film.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be directed by, I just forgot his name, Matthew John Lawrence.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Let's do it. I'm in.
And it needs to star our boy from Bad Ben, Nigel Bach.
He's got a new movie coming out, Bad Ben Pandemic.
Oh, when is this?
Soon. He's been promoting it left and right.
Oh, I hope it's like in a week.
Nigel's trapped in the house with Bad Ben.
What?
No
way.
He saw Host and said, yeah, Host, I see your movie, your pandemic movie, and I raise you.
I'll make a better movie in 3 days.
God damn it.
Have you watched these, Tim? Any of these?
No, I haven't. I'm looking at them on IMDb now, and I want to.
Yes. We'll tell. There's certain ones you want to watch. Some of them are not great, but some of them are so entertaining.
Like it's just him in a movie.
Most of the time.
Sometimes, but not
most of the time.
Is he from New Jersey for real?
Yeah.
Yes, he lives down by you, dude.
Really?
Yep. So whenever you're going to drive down Steelmanville Road,
I don't know.
Yeah, Google Steelmanville Road, and then
he's in Egg Harbor.
Oh yeah, that is like literally 20 minutes from me.
Oh my god.
You should, dude. You see exactly where his house is in every movie. You should just go by.
Yeah, he goes to like a shopping center that's probably right by your house.
Probably is.
Yeah,
that's
watch
amazing.
those movies. We want a book report when you're done.
I'm following him on Twitter.
Dude, he is hilarious.
Well, by the way, now that you're with us, he's going to hate you too. So good luck.
Yeah.
Why he doesn't like you guys?
I think he thinks we're shitting on his movies.
Oh.
And I legitimately
We've been
love
his
them.
biggest fans from day one.
We've sent him a lot of views.
We were a little critical of some of his movies, but we're just being honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't like honesty.
I mean,
No.
the Steelmanville Road movie was rough.
Why do you
but-
think there was a disclaimer before I spoke?
That's right.
Honestly, Jesus Christ.
Maybe I should just flash one from now on before it's your turn.
I was good this week. I was very good.
You were very reserved.
So next week we're doing what? Acts of Violence on Shudder.
Yeah, it's what's his name? Jay Baruchel?
Oh,
Yeah.
I love Jay Baruchel.
I'm looking forward to watching that. Right now, I think I have City of the Living Dead on Shudder.
Oof.
Oh,
with,
there's a Bruce Willis movie called Acts of Violence. I'm guessing that's not it.
I think it's Random Acts of Violence.
Random Acts of Violence. That's probably it.
All right.
So looking forward to that. Thank you, Shudder, making it easy for us to watch something.
Got it.
Until then, you all know what to do. Hit the like button, hit a heart, spread the word, but most of all, comment on this YouTube page, and then you might get a little something from me. So that's all for tonight. Until next week, see you suckers.
Later.
Arrivederci.
Bye.